right, it's time for another episode of Betting Weekly Tennis Live, all part of the Bet Rivers Network. Mitch Michaels, Tim Dennis. You can follow us on our socials because we win on the X account, on Instagram, and on YouTube. The Canadian Open is in full effect. We've got the men in Toronto, the women in Montreal. We've got a lot of live action to get to right now. Joining me now on this show, Tim Dennis. Tim, good to see you, man.
Hey, Mitch. Yeah, good to be here. Yeah, just seen Osaka clinch that second set to take that into a third. So an interesting third set coming up there by the looks of it in Montreal.
Yeah, we were following that before. It was 5-3 Samsonova in the tiebreak. It was 8-6 won by Osaka. You could have got her for a hefty plus price, but now it's Naomi minus 159, Samsonova plus 114. A lot of close matches on the women's side right now. You have one set all, 2 games all, Svitolina and Linette, with Svitolina plus 107, Linette minus 139. Maya Joint, McCartney, Kessler, 2 great young players, are in their third set with it 1-0 Kessler on serve. Kessler's a pretty solid favorite at minus 220. You have Tauson opening up that first set lead on Bronzetti 5-1. And on the men's side, Ben Shelton's in action, up a break over Adrian Mannarino. Cam Norrie, Vukic, Cobolli, Galarneau just started, and Boo is down 3-love against Senego. So pretty good, Tim. I mean, we've got like 8 matches going on live, and I think I do really enjoy the fact that we've got split cities, so we can have all these matches going on at once.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're sport for choice, aren't we? With plenty of decent men's action and women's, if that's your thing too. So yeah, take your pick on which match you like, and yeah, get involved, get on that app, and choose which match you like, and you can make your picks there.
Boy, Vukic over Norrie, that's an interesting one, right? He's up 4-1. Norrie is still plenty of time, but both are minus there. I don't think we kind of started. Yeah, we got some Vukic fans in the chat, but there's a player that goes down to Los Cabos and tries to get his hard court season on, and I don't know, maybe he pulls this off and keeps it going. Norrie had had a little bit of a run in DC, so I'm a little shocked at how that match started.
Yeah, real slow start there from Norrie, getting broke sort of real early on, and he's up a double break actually. No, sorry, just a single break. If he can hold break and hold, then he can get back into it. Norrie this match, but yeah, slow start, and that looks like it might cost him the first set. And in quick conditions, if Vukic can hold on to his set, but I wouldn't be writing Norrie off just yet in that one.
Yeah, it's funny. Shelton's playing Mannarino. Mannarino took him out in Australia last year in 5 thrilling sets, but different stages in their career with Ben Shelton coming into this event, and we'll see what happens going forward. But with all the players that are out, there was opportunity on the men's side, whether it's an American in Fritz or Shelton. But Shelton was one of those guys, Tim, that we kind of marked as someone that could go far in here based on the opportunity.
Yeah, I was shocked with Shelton the other day, though. Obviously, Davidovich had that marathon match with Fritz, finishing late into the night and even into the early hours in the morning. And I saw Shelton was quite a strong minus money favorite to beat him, and Davidovich got rid of him in 2 sets, which I was surprised about when I woke up the next day, because it was late in the night here. But so yeah, a little bit of a letdown there from my part with Shelton, but he has found Mannarino a difficult man to conquer in his past as well. So he'll be happy to be up that early break. But I did see Mannarino, I think he just had a break point there, didn't manage to take it. So yeah, Shelton's still up that break.
Yeah, it's such a contrast of styles too. Shelton, very raw power in a lot of ways, and Mannarino, very finesse. So we'll see if that tightens up later on. The women's matches, we can talk about some of the tight ones. I think Joint Kessler is an intriguing one, Tim. We're always looking for the next players to kind of emerge, and both of these players have shown flashes. Kessler won a title this year on the grass. Maya Joint as well has a title to her name. So these are both players on the way up. Do you have a read on where this match is and if there's value in the live line?
I think I probably quite like Joint, whether obviously she's took the first set. She took, one set all, sorry. So, but I probably like Joint. I think she's playing with fuller confidence.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's got that 2 titles under her belt, beat last week's winner in Fernandez yesterday. Yeah. So she'll be, I think, in a tight third set. I think she'll be the one who'll probably go for a shot, perhaps a little bit more. I probably lean towards her. I'm not quite sure what the market is suggesting there, but it's Kessler looks like she's probably going to go up 2-1 here on serve, leading 30-love. But I think I probably have a slight lean towards Joint, just because she's got that confidence in her tank at the moment.
Yeah, the win over Fernandez. I mean, we know that Fernandez was probably depleted energy-wise, but that's big to beat the Canadian, which hasn't actually been great for the local Canadians so far in this tournament. I was looking at some of the and maybe maybe Felix should be on upset alert later today, and Gabriel Diallo. But yeah, the Canadians haven't really been doing as well on the local home soil.
No, not yet. Like you say, Shapovalov beaten last night as well, and Felix will be trying to stop that rot. Really, I know some of the guys like him to go deep into this tournament. I don't think it's the easiest first round match he's got tonight either. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. But one match I did want to speak to you about that I didn't get a chance to speak to you before we started was I missed it last night, but caught up with some of the highlights. The Coco Gauff Danielle Collins match. And I looked at the stats this morning and saw 23 double faults next to Coco Gauff's name.
Yeah, and she won. It was really insane to watch. I think Collins had a 13 or so.
36.
I watched it. It was something. I don't want to. It was a spectacle. I'll say that. But Coco finds a way. It's weird with her, right? Like her serve can kind of just go away, but in a weird way, like she's not out of the match because she's got such a good return percentage. But I don't know. I don't know if this is old problems, creeping their head. I think Coco is able to overcome a lot of this stuff, but it was pretty rough last night to watch. Now Collins wasn't able to capitalize on it, but yeah, that was something, and we'll see where Coco goes from here.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a misread when it said 23, but yeah, I mean, I didn't think it could get any worse, but clearly it hasn't. It'd be fascinating to see how that goes in the later stages when she starts playing sort of. I'm not saying Danielle Collins isn't a big returner, but if she gets to sort of tight ends of matches and sort of quarterfinals, semifinals, how that plays out, because that's clearly still something that's bothering her. But she went on and won a French Open when it was bothering her too. So who's to say she can't sort it out?
So we're looking at Osaka Samsonova. I think that's probably the biggest matchup, biggest star power in Osaka going on. We're about to start the third, and we talked about it. Osaka battling, and she's working with Iga's old coach now, and not an official coaching setup after parting on for Patrick Mouratoglou, but still trying to search for some answers. This is a intriguing matchup because they played a bunch of times. I think their head-to-head is about even 2-2. So looking at set 3 going on this, Osaka is a slight favorite. Whether it's even just backing a player or maybe backing an over, do you have a read on what to expect set 3, Tim, in Osaka Samsonova?
Well, I think looking at the odds, I'm quite surprised there's such a difference there. I've got Samsonova there is plus 148 chance, and Osaka minus 190, having gone 15 love up on Samsonova serve there. So I would probably be looking at kind of an under games line. I think what I'd probably be looking at. I mean, I'm just having a look at total games.
Yeah, set 3's juice pretty high. I'm looking at Bet Rivers now. Under 9.5 is minus 110. So
yeah, that's where I would probably lean that, because it wouldn't surprise. I mean, you looked a similar match to like Kostyuk Vondrousova yesterday. Yeah. One of them, they come that third set, Vondrousova just fell away, and it wouldn't be the biggest shock if that happened to one of these two players here. I guess you don't have to get the winner there; you just need to get the under total games. But yeah, I'd probably be going for my lean would be under 9.5 total games. Yeah, like you say, it's just slight minus money, but I think that's probably about right.
It's a big one for Naomi. See if she can get some momentum going into the U.S. Open run-up, and Cincinnati coming up after that. But she makes a change as we've got a early break for Flavio Cobolli. Yeah, after how DC went for him, he's trying to get back on track. He had such a great grass court season, but played the Hopman Cup, tried to go right to the hard court in DC. It didn't go well for him, Tim. So I think Cobolli, not just this match, but going forward, he could be one to watch just to see what type of form he's in.
Yeah, an early break against another Canadian who, like you say, might be struggling to keep that going. But yeah, Cobolli will be looking to get his hard court swing going here. Whether these sort of hot weather, real fast court conditions are going to be right up his street. I know his clay victories have come on really, really slow clay courts. But like you said, he did well on the grass, which is obviously a little bit quicker than the tournaments he's won on clay. So he could be one to watch going forward. And he's going to face sterner tests after this, if he comes through this match for certain, isn't he?
He certainly will. It's going to be interesting. And before we move on to some matchups coming up, the other player that I wanted to get your opinion on, because she's up big and has really done well all year, is Clara Tauson. Do you think Tauson, Tim, is somebody to watch going into the U.S. Open, given that she's had a little bit of a breakthrough? Yeah, and is serving well, as Willie is mentioning too. I think Tauson, Tim, might be one to monitor if you see it that way too.
Yeah, I think so. She had some good results on the Middle East swing, didn't she? There out in Dubai and Qatar out when she was out playing there. And I like her on these sort of quicker conditions, on these sort of consistent, firm hard courts. I think that game suits her game well. I don't think Bronzetti's going to give her much to worry about here. Obviously, she's took that first set comfortably, and I think she's just going to have too many weapons for Bronzetti here. Which looks fairly obvious, and yeah, she's going to be a danger to all, isn't she? Because she's, I think she's got a fairly reasonable record against players like Sabalenka, who you can kind of tell that's the kind of style she likes playing. She's happy to go toe to toe with baseliners, and she can stand her own.
Well, we got matches coming up here on Betting Weekly Tennis Live. Mitch Michaels, Tim Dennis, all part of the Bet Rivers Network. We've got some great matchups, both ATP in Toronto and the WTA in Montreal. Want to go over a few of them. And Tim, you highlighted this one. Mckenzie McDonald taking on Jiri Lehecka. McDonald's a plus 235 underdog. There you see the game spread at 3.5, 22.5 over under, and some set bets as well. But Tim, as we look at this match, and one of the ones you wanted to highlight, what's the angle and how do you plan on attacking this match from a betting standpoint?
Yeah, from a betting standpoint, I was looking through it. This is the first time these guys have met, and Mckenzie McDonald has already played a game here, already beaten Gauff 6-4, 6-4 in round one. I think he won 81% of his first serve points in that, and he won a huge 78% of points behind his second serve, which is a really good effort. I think he actually only faced one break point in entire match. And I think the thing I like here is this is their first head-to-head. We know Lehecka's a big server. He played twice last week in Washington. I think he lost to Alex de Minaur in his second match after beating Zach Svadda in round one. He played 6 sets across those 2 matches, and I think 3 of them were tie breaks. And the bet I liked here was sort of over 10.5 games in set 1 was plus 200, which I thought was quite a big price, because Lehecka is obviously a good server on these quick conditions, and with them not having played each other before, it might take them a little bit of time to get a read on each other's serve. Obviously, the conditions are pretty quick, and with Mckenzie McDonald serving well in that first round match, I just thought, over 10.5. I thought it was going to be near a sort of plus 150-ish. I thought I was quite surprised to see plus 200. So and the fact that Lehecka played 3 tie breaks in his 2 matches last week. I think that's a fair way of looking at it from my point of view. That's the way I saw.
Including that Demon Hour match, which was a long first set tiebreaker. So I like where your head's at there. I think Mackie McDonald's someone that's been able to have some good results, maybe working a little bit here. And I think this is a good play to back. And as I say on the men's side, one of the matchup graphics that I wanted, because it's been an interesting one for Moutet. Moutet and Fokina are playing, and Moutet's been winning at an alarming rate. Fokina, who had that brutal loss in the final of the City Open, they're on the court today in Toronto. There you see the money line. There's the game spread, the over/under at 22.5. Some set betting. I think this could be another prime spot for Moutet to pull off an upset, Tim. And I don't know that I necessarily would go money line. I think the spread's an interesting one, but Moutet is a wizard out there in a lot of ways, and I just wonder what Fokina is going to have after that heartbreaking loss, after what had happened in DC.
Yeah, I think the key to this match is what you just mentioned there, and what Fokina is going to have it in his tank, isn't he? Because that was, you could see how desperate he was in the trophy presentation afterwards. He was on his knees there, wasn't he? And I think he couldn't really believe he lost that match. So I think it's been factored into the price there as well. I think if he'd have lost, let's say, to Shelton in the semis, I think he'd be a lot shorter than he is today. So I guess a little bit of question mark as to just what kind of position he's in physically and mentally coming into today. They've played twice, both on clay courts. This is going back 4 years ago, so I don't think you can read too much into it. But they've played 4 sets, and Davidovich-Fokina's won them all. But like you said, Moutet's had some good results, beating Medvedev there last week. And he's going to make Davidovich-Fokina work hard, isn't he? So if we've got the graphic back up there, perhaps over total games is probably where I'd be leaning towards this one. I think, what's the line? Just
110, minus 110 over games. You can also get that 3 sets for plus 128, but yeah, maybe the games is a smart way to go because there could be 2 long sets even. So
yeah, we know Moutet's certainly not afraid of going long, and either is Davidovich Fokina. So
yeah.
I mean, I think certainly if Davidovich Fokina was to take the first set, you're not going to rule Moutet out. It might be a slight concern for that bet if Moutet takes it, whether Davidovich Fokina just thinks, you know what, this isn't going to be my week. But I don't think that's in his makeup. So I think they'll both give it everything. And he's had a few days now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Wednesday and that final was on Sunday. So
Yeah.
I think these guys at these levels, I think those few days off, he should be fine. So I think it wouldn't put me off Davidovich Fokina at all, I don't think.
So we got Vukic takes the first set over Norrie. Osaka up a break, 2-love in set 3. And Maya Joint gets the break over McCartney Kessler. So a lot going on in the live window, but Joint, there you go. And that's what happens now. She's minus 278 on the money line, so in a good spot. And I wonder too if where the Naomi Samsonova, where that game total under goes. Can Naomi essentially serve it out and not get broken en route to the finish line?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, she's already got that break. So although to get the under 9.5, she's going to have to break again because obviously Samsonova serving first here. I can't imagine they'll all hold serve all the way to the line here, but if they do, it'll end up being 6-4. But it wouldn't shock me if that 9.5 is still live. And like you say, a good start there with Joint going up on the break. But as we know, women's tennis, a break of serve isn't a huge amount, but yeah, we're on the right side of it so far. Be interesting to see Cam Norrie here. He's just about to hold his serve to lead 1-0, but I wouldn't write him out of this game at all yet. He's obviously just come out and a little bit half asleep, cost him that start of the game and obviously cost him the set, but I'd be fairly confident he can find his way back into this. So he might be a good look in play to me now.
Well, here's another women's match we wanted to highlight. It's Emma Raducanu taking on Peyton Stearns. Raducanu won her first matchup pretty easily over Roos. She plays Peyton Stearns, who hasn't taken the court since being upset by Venus Williams in D.C. Raducanu is a prohibitive favorite, minus 315. You see the game spread, the over-under. It's easy to understand why, Tim, given the form that Raducanu comes into this tournament with, and Stearns coming off of a loss. But what's the betting angle on this one? How do you find value in a price matchup that's a little one-sided, to say the least?
Yeah, obviously Raducanu is probably playing, I mean, bar winning the US Open, she's probably playing the best tennis of her life now, isn't she? Finding a bit of consistent form and enjoying this hard court swing. And I think that's probably her favorite surface. And she clearly likes playing out in the States and in Canada too. So they've met twice, these two, before. Raducanu's leads that head-to-head 2-0, having won both matches 2-0. But I think 3 of those matches were tie breaks. So certainly 3 of those sets, were tie breaks. So you could certainly see these. That could have been a slightly different result with just a point here or there. Raducanu leads the service points, 1 return points, 1 totals of those 2 matches, 104-96. But in those 2 matches, I think there were 39 break points between the pair of them in just those 2 matches. So you can see how it's not going to be serve dominated this. And I think with Stearns, how do you look at that loss to Venus Williams? Is she going to come out how did I lose that? Or is she going to be a little bit down? Or is she just thinking, do you know what?
I do think tennis players can turn the page pretty quickly. And I think that was a very nervy performance, given who you're playing against. As great as Emma is, it's not necessarily the legend of being on the other side of Venus Williams. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Stearns has had a pretty, up until the last, recent couple weeks, she's had a pretty solid run. I don't know. I'm more looking at it from the Raducanu. She is playing the best tennis of her life outside that US Open run. And yeah, I expect that to keep going. I think she's, rankings are one thing, but I think she's playing at a top 20 level for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. And the thing with Stearns, though, she likes it here. She made the quarterfinals last year before losing to eventual winner Pegula.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think she's better than she showed against that Venus Williams. I thought with 3 of those sets these 2 have played before, she could make it competitive. And I thought over 20.5 games, I think it was just minus 120. I think it was. I thought that was that was probably okay. So if I was, excuse me, if I was going to make up a double today, I was going to put this in with it, minus 122. I think it might have been minus 120 on the sign there that you put up. But yeah, I thought, like you said, with 3 of those sets being tie breaks, and 39 break points across just the 2 meetings, I think it could be a bit swingy, and I think Stearns is going to come out and improve from what she showed last time, and I think she could make Raducanu work hard. And even in that first match they played, when it was 7-6, 6-2, that's still going to cash your over bet. So I thought 20.5 was a fair line.
Certainly do, and it'll be part of the daily double, which we'll get to at the end of the show. But since we got the comment from Henry Irwin in the chat, he wants to know about Tiafoe Watanuki. Yosuke Watanuki, who beat Tiafoe at Indian Wells this year, if you all remember that match. It was a epic performance by a player who had his biggest win of his career. They're playing tonight in Toronto. Tiafoe's minus 278 favorite, Watanuki's plus 205, but that set opportunity, and if he wins a set, is minus 134. So, Tim, do we think that this will be a competitive match? Do you think Watanuki can make it competitive like it was last time?
Yeah, I definitely think so. As we know with Tiafoe, he's I don't think he's got a great record here. I think he's only won 1 of his last 5 matches here. So, and we know he's a bit of a showman, and this isn't obviously a huge match in his calendar. We think it's going to be a bigger match for Watanuki than it is Tiafoe, and he clearly has a good record against Tiafoe. I actually think this is one of the games the guys covered on their podcast earlier in the week, and I think they're quite keen on Watanuki to get something from it. So whether you look at Watanuki to win a set or with the handicap, I guess one's probably going to lean into the other, but that's probably the way I'd be looking at it too, because I think he's definitely.
Yeah, I was looking at the head-to-head too, and they played a tight match in Miami. I think it was a year before, 2023, and every match has been pretty heavy, and there's been a lot of tie breaks. So maybe, and I'm going back to the well, but one tie break is plus 114. I think that they could be playing one of those tie break sets too. So maybe that's the way I would look at it. Yeah, and there you go. When they played in Miami, it was an epic match too. So they've been competitive, Tim. So I think that's a very smart way to approach it.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to trouble Tiafoe here. It's just a question of which is the best way you're looking at towards a bet, whether, like you say, I think, and with these quick conditions, and even if he's not hugely up for Tiafoe,
that's an interesting one.
Serving well.
That's an interesting one right there. Carina Busta versus Fees or O'Connell versus Tsitsipas. Tim, I'll let you go, but I would say more likely would be Carina Busta, given Fees is just coming off of a knee issue, a knee surgery, something. So I don't know what he's going to look like physically.
Yeah, exactly. I would probably lean with that Carina Busta. A tricky one, probably a little bit to be taken on trust with Fees. I suppose Carina Busta, there were a few concerns about his fitness as well, but obviously he came through a 3-setter there the other day, so at least you know where you are with him. And as far as Tsitsipas goes, I mean, he's obviously gone back to his dad now being his coach. So he's had that sort of almost a public fallout, isn't it, with Ivan Ishvich, with what's been said. He certainly didn't speak too highly of him. Since Tsitsipas, I mean, we all know how well he can play, and he does need to get his career back going again, doesn't he? Whether he can start here, O'Connell should be able to hold his serve fairly comfortably without Tsitsipas being the best returner. So I'd probably be looking at the sort of over total games in that game would be my lean, with Tsitsipas should be serving well enough to hold his end, and vice versa with O'Connell. So I think if I had to choose one of the upsets, though, I'd probably go with Carina Busta, because you're not quite sure where you are with Fees right now.
That's very fair. Yeah, I don't know. First time back, we'll see. Carina Busta's tough. He's a little older, but I think he's got the opportunity. We appreciate answering questions too. We appreciate good questions coming in here. So keep the comments coming. One of the matchups too on the women's side, because we're always looking for upsets and we know that they happen. We're just trying to figure out what they're going to be. But I wanted your thoughts, Tim, on Pegula Sakkari, because Pegula minus 275, Maria Sakkari plus 210. You understand why that is. Sakkari lost to Raducanu, Tim, but in Pegula's last couple tournaments, she has lost as a prohibitive favorite. So the upset bug has been hitting her. She's not quite at her best, but we know she can turn it on. U.S. Open finalist last year. Is this a danger spot for her?
I mean, potentially from a personal point of view, I hope not, because I've actually bet Pegula to win this title earlier on in the week. So I'm hoping she can come through this one. Obviously, she lost their first round at Wimbledon and lost first round in Washington too. But she obviously had she was pretty good in Germany before that, winning that title on the grass, where quick conditions, and she's obviously got a great record here at both these Canadian tournaments. And I'm not hugely concerned by her form because, I mean, you go back 3 matches and she won a title. So I'm not too worried about that. But I think Saka is starting to find her feet a little bit. Yeah. She gave Raducanu a little bit to think about. I think she'll probably be, and I think Brandstein probably gave her a run for her money. Whether she'd be slightly disappointed she didn't come through that easier, I'm not so sure. But I do see Pegula being too strong here. And I know as a strong minus money chance, that's probably not much to say. I'm not quite sure what the 2-0 set betting is Pegula, but if I was probably looking for a bet in the match, I think I'd be looking at Pegula to win 2-0. I think she's won the last 3 head-to-heads all on hard courts. I think she's won them all in straight sets. So I'd be looking to see Pegula go deep this week and starting off here. That's what I'd like.
Yeah, you can get her 2 sets at like minus 104. So maybe that's the way to approach this one if you think Pegula is going to handle business, get back on track. And yeah, she's won the title in Montreal, in Toronto, so she wants to keep it going and plays her best tennis in Canada. This is a good spot for her. As we look at the live window, there's some interesting developments there. Joint and Kessler are in a very, very tight battle. As we look at that match, I think it is right now back on serve, 3-all, 40-all. So we're at the deuce point in a brutal long game. Osaka's up 3-1. Shelton is on serve in the second after taking the first, as is Norrie and Vukic after that as well. So yeah, I mean, Osaka's handling. Maybe that joint Kessler match is going to be the one to wind down because they seem like they're just battling. Yeah,
that looks a slugfest, doesn't it? What I wanted to ask you is just obviously being an American, how do you guys sort of see Ben Shelton? Is this kind of a tournament that he should be winning in your guys' eyes without Alcaraz and Sinner here? And
I think it should be one of them, right? Fritz or Shelton. Like you'd expect one of them to rise up. I mean, we know Zverev as the 1 seed doesn't play his best tennis. So if you're looking at no Alcaraz, no Sinner, obviously Djokovic isn't playing. He's prioritizing slams. But yeah, you'd like to think that one of those top 2 Americans, because with Tommy Paul out, with Tiafoe not as consistent as the top 2 Americans are clearly Fritz and Shelton. Yeah, I think there's reasonable expectation that one of them could hoist the trophy.
Yeah, I think it's about time he sort of did, really, isn't it? Because he's obviously got the ammunition, he got the weapons to do it, and he's just got to go and do it now. And even if he does do something like that, then maybe that'll give him the confidence when he goes and bumps into Alcaraz or Sinner in the slams to have a title under his belt and knowing he can get it done.
Yeah, I mean, his year has been great. He's just lost in the slams to the top players, so he has to, get it done. And we'll see. I mean, with Draper out, the top 4 seed at the U.S. Open is up for grabs. Looks like Fritz has the path to it, but it's going to be very fascinating to see what the seeding looks like heading into to New York. Any other matches we want to get to, and we'll make sure we cover our daily double and other things. But any other matches we're looking at?
Yeah, well, I think like the question there with Norrie, I thought he probably was worth a shout there at plus 120. I'm not sure he was earlier when we mentioned it, but I think he's still on serve there, isn't he? In his match with Vukic, yeah, he leads 2-3. I think if Vukic holds serve, whether he might get slightly bigger than that plus 120 here, but that, like we said earlier, that sort of sleepy start cost him a set, and it wouldn't have shocked me at all if he went on to win this second set. And he's got no fear of going long, that's for sure. Cam Norrie.
On the men's side, I would just say watch out for the Canadians. For one or any of them get upset, you have Felix taking on Morozin. He's a minus 195 favorite. Morozin plus 150. And then Diallo is a pretty big favorite against Gigante, who beat Chorich. He had the win over Tsitsipas at Roland Garros. So I don't know. I think there could be a upset lurking between one or maybe both of the Canadians.
Yeah, well, I know some of the guys will be wanting Diallo to get on with it because I think he's in a few bets for the few people on the show here. But yeah, he was probably slightly disappointed to get Shelton there the other day. Gigante, this will be a chance to have a shock. And again, but these conditions should shoot Diallo, shouldn't they, with these big serve, big +1 forehand, and that where you could be looking at going possibly quite long in that game. Wouldn't surprise you, but I think Diallo will be looking to come through this and at least be a Canadian to get through with a few of the others going by the wayside in the last day or so.
On the women's side, we had a comment, maybe Zarazua can pull an upset over Ostapenko. You never know, right, with Ostapenko, if she's going to show up.
It just depends which one you're going to get. I don't think she's probably going to be a huge fan of conditions here, Ostapenko. I think the courts will be fine, but the heat, I know she has struggled before in the heat. I remember when she played Gauff in the US Open, I think it was last year, she was really struggling in those hot conditions. Zarazua, whether she's got the ammunition, you just don't know which Ostapenko you're going to get, though, do you? I mean, if I was looking at about Zarazua to win a set, probably might be a lean there, because obviously Ostapenko, whether she can play lights out for 2 sets, she can probably win the match and with 2 sets to 1, but she can go AWOL for a set. So I probably Zarazua to take a set, maybe. Obviously a little bit short than +200, but
first hard court matchup. So what Ostapenko are you going to get is a big question. I wouldn't say I have a strong lean on that one, but it's definitely in the upset. An upset wouldn't shock me, given that Ostapenko sometimes could come out a little flat, to say the least.
I think she's on court at about 7 o'clock, so that'll be sort of 2 o'clock Eastern time, I think, give or take.
What do you think about that giant number in Iga's matchup, 8.5 game spread?
Do you know what? I did look at that. That's one of the matches I searched through to see what the spread was going to be, and I just thought,
insane.
I mean, is she going to come out and win? I mean, even if she wins 2-2, you're gonna lose your money if you're backing it to cover the -8.5. So yeah, probably just one too high to be getting involved with me with getting a fairly decent victory against Putin-Sava, although she has been all over the place lately, Putin-Sava. So
2-2 would also lose the over. It would go over 15.5, which is crazy. That's the over/under. So
yeah, a bit of a sickener to bet. Sort of, if it was, I mean, if you back up the player at -8.5 and your player wins 6-2, 6-2, obviously a comfortable victory, but you've still lost your money. So tough one to be confident.
It's interesting too. Other women's matches I just want to mention for today. Katie McNally is a slight favorite over Shramkova, -132. I think McNally's been playing a lot better. And then Mertens is a huge favorite over Kalinskaya, who made the City Open final last week. So I guess we're taking form, we're taking depleted energy, but Mertens being that big favorite kind of startled me a little bit.
Possibly a little bit too short against Kalinskaya. You mean? So you said so.
It's 245. That's a huge number for someone in Kalinskaya's case that has been playing well. I understand that she's been playing a lot of tennis, but I just think that's a huge number.
Yeah, I think it's the numbers based around the 3-set match she had yesterday, and obviously I'm making the final there last week.
Yeah.
But, to me, it's like I agree with you. That's a huge number. I think it should be more near a sort of. I think even -200 would be too short on Mertens here. So I think +1. I can see +190, about sort of +175, +190 in between those two. Kalinskaya, it's certainly a bit of value if you can take on trust that she's fine and there's no reason she shouldn't be. Shouldn't worry her playing another 3-set match.
Last 2 observations I have from the women's side, Tim, and then we can go with the daily double and wrap on, is Muhova is a slight favorite over Rusick, and I just don't know what she's going to have. She's been banged up. We'll see what her level is. And then I'm curious what Anisimova has taken on Lulu's son. Remember, Wimbledon final didn't go her way, but such a great run. How is she going to handle her return to the hard courts too?
Yeah, I think she'll be looking forward to getting a match under her belt, won't she, after that? Obviously, put Wimbledon behind her. And I think this is going to be right up her street, isn't it? This fast, hard courts, big weapons, big serve, big forehand. I think she's going to be looking to start her US Open. I think she's gearing up towards the US Open, and I actually think she's a lively outsider for that. I say outsider. I think she's probably sort of as 20-1 now, give or take here or there. But I think she'll be looking to come out firing and go deep in it. I think, was she a losing finalist here last year?
Yeah, she was. Pegula beat her in the final. So this is no stranger to her playing well in this tournament. You can get her straight sets against Sun at -159. So they're they're expecting, she plays well here, and people expect her to keep that going.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't shock me at all. I think she'll be keen to get a game under her belt, and obviously she's going to be spoken a lot about Wimbledon as her last match. But once she gets today out of the way, it won't be her last match, and she'll have one under her belt. So yeah, I can see her going through comfortably today. I think she'll have too much class.
All right, Tim, time to wrap up the show. Looking at, we'll peek back at the live window, but the official daily double pick. What are your 2 legs for that?
Yeah, in Mckenzie, McDonald, and Jiri Lehecka, which is a game a bit later on. I thought over 10.5 games in set 1 at +200. Obviously, haven't faced each other, so quick conditions, and hopefully take a little bit of time to get going there. So hopefully a long first set there, and double it up with over 20.5 games in Emma Raducanu versus Peyton Stearns at -120. I think I saw with Bet Rivers.
All right. We love it. I think that's a good play. I see that Kessler's pulling ahead, just a game away from joint. Osaka's up. And yeah, our parting thought is it's 4-3 on serve in the Vukic Norrie match, but Norrie plus 163 on the live odds, worth a play, right? Just still very much in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it goes to a third, I think I know who I want on my side in a long third match in the heat. Norrie's a real fighter, and he's not gonna give an inch there. So yeah, plus 160 Norrie. That looks pretty good to me if you want an in play bet right now.
Well, the Canadian Open keeps going on. We appreciate it. Next week the final is actually on a Thursday, so it's gonna be an interesting couple shows we got next week. It's not the conventional. This is the new normal with the expanded tennis events. So I think we'll have some semifinals on Wednesday. So have to check the schedule. Monday we'll be getting into the latter stages of this tournament, but we're expecting the unexpected here on Betting Weekly Tennis Live. Make sure you also subscribe to our newsletter as well at bettingweeklystudios.com and follow the socials. But Tim, it was a pleasure as always. Can't wait to talk tennis again with you on the show.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Mitch.
That was Tim Dennis. I'm Mitch Michaels. This was Betting Weekly Tennis Live. We're back next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 1 o'clock Eastern, all on the Bet Rivers Network. Thanks to everybody out there for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the tennis.